Oh, that's a really cool The Shining shirt that you're wearing, Octat. Oh, thank you. It's not a Shining shirt though. It's I'm just vibing. Some people going about their lives, engaging with the rat race, capitalist maximalism, but me, we're just vibing. I need to use an aider sound that's not hater or skater. I've used those already. I'm not going to retread old ground. What is up, saters, platers, and effects automators? Thanks for sitting down at the messy desk with me this week. Today, I want to talk to you about something that I think is kind of an unsung hero of a lot of musical projects. It's not fun for a lot of people, unless you're a psychopath like me, because I love it, but it's something that is absolutely necessary to making your tracks kind of stick out and pop, and I think I would refer to it as taking them that last percent to get a track to 100% done. And so what I want to talk to you about today is effects automation, specifically effects automation with slide trigs. So let's talk about it. So I was thinking about what to do for this week's video, and I had thought about maybe doing a track breakdown for this project I've shown off a couple times, but then it sort of occurred to me, what if instead of doing this big deep dive that's going to be like 45 minutes long, and people are going to tell me I talk too much, people are going to tell me I'm rambling and that I'm not staying on focus and that I should get a different job. I do have a different job. I have a great day job, very happy there, but say your mean things to me, I suppose. Why don't I just do a kind of tight, focused video about what I think is special about this project, and then no one will have to complain about the long length of the video. I won't have to read mean comments about my personality that verge on the too personal, and you guys can get out of here. So what I want to show you is the ways that I've used slide trigs in this project to kind of make it pop just a little bit. Now, these are not like world-shattering, huge effects here. These are just little details that will kind of catch the listener's ear and make the track feel a little more intentional, a little more thought out, a little less bland. So what I want to show you is my new favorite use for slide trigs. It's like the opposite of a tape stop. It's like a tape start. Let me show you what that sounds like. That's it. Do you hear that? It's like waking up in the morning and, I sleep. I wake. And it's really nice. It's in the first pattern of the song, and it kind of gives this feeling of literally what a tape start is. It's winding up. It's pulling you into the world of the track. Again, this is really subtle stuff, nothing crazy, but it's really nice. And so I'll show you how I did it. Really not complicated at all. I have a trigger here and a trigger here. You can see that they're both locked. If I hold this, you can see that it has a rate of -21, and that this has the rate of, plus 63, which is just normal playback speed. And so when you don't have time stretching on, of course, when you slow down the rate, you're slowing down the pitch. And so it's literally going from, reversed to forward, and it gets this whoop, whoop kind of feeling. And the way that it does this smoothly is by using a slide trigger. So I'm saying to slide from this value to this value, from here to here. And if you don't know what slide trigs are, I have a video about it. It's here, 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 here. And you can check it out there and see the lowdown on these little guys. But essentially, they interpolate between two values. Effects automation, right? Okay, so that's the first thing. The second thing is in this little B section here. And I always get nervous about writing B sections because, as we know, I'm very lazy. And B sections are a lot of work because it's a new section. You got to work hard and try new things. And that's very terrifying to me on a personal level. It frightens me to try new things. Anyway, the next trick I want to show you is in this B section. So let's take a listen to it. I think you'll like it. Okay, so to kind of show you what's happening there, I want to solo these three tracks. And here you can see I have three different parts of the same sample, and they're sequenced different ways and sliced different ways. And the way that they interplay with each other is kind of fun. There's a lot of octave up, octave down, but what really kind of made it pop for me is using slide trigs for some effects automation, specifically on like the sample rate and the pitch, again, for that kind of whoop whoop feeling. So let's listen to that. And so the way I achieve this, there's actually nothing going on here, but on track 2 here, if we go to my slide triggers, you can see I have a slide trigger here. Let's listen. And what that's doing is sliding from here to this trigless lock here. So it's sliding down from this high value of sample reduction and bit reduction to where it's 0. So it's sliding down to that value rather than sliding up in the previous case. And then I also have this second bit here, which is basically doing the same thing, starting here and moving up, but I have a trigger condition on it, so it happens every second time, which we talk about this constantly on the channel, extends your sequence, makes it longer and more palatable to listen to for long periods of time before it starts getting grating and annoying and difficult to listen to. Yeah, and then on track 4, we have this little thing. What's happening here is I have the rate all the way back at -64, and here I have the rate locked at +63, so you get that whoop effect. Again, just another pitch stop thing. Really simple, really easy. But when you put them together with everything, I'm going to leave out the bass because the bass is a little overpowering, but you can hear. And if you want to talk about just general composition stuff, the way that these are interplaying with each other, track 3 doesn't have any of those fancy slide trigs or anything like that I have a trigger condition on it to only happen the second time. So the first time through, you get this sequence. It sounds nice. But the second time around, you get this harmonization, which is really nice. And it just kind of adds another layer, another texture, another thing for the listener to kind of glob onto there. Really simple stuff. Ultimately, I think the main point of this video is to kind of get across the principle that you're not just making big choices on the Octatrack or when you're making music at all. You're making a lot of tiny choices as well. And so you should pay attention to these small details. I talk about in one of my other videos here about approaching the Octatrack that you should focus on the broad before the granular. And that's true, 99% of the time, especially when you're like just starting a track. But for me, in B sections especially, it really helps to kind of focus on these small details that not only kind of take the track to its next level or to the next kind of the next step to making it sound more interesting, but also to differentiate it from what came before, and to kind of really drive home that this is a new pattern and this is a new thing we're doing. I think that's going to do it for me this week. I want to thank you so much for watching, and I want to thank you guys for all the support. I've been getting a lot of positive feedback about my tape, which really kind of means the world to me. It's hard to overstate. You put something out there in the world, and a lot of times for me with music, I'm used to kind of just throwing it out into the void. So to get to hear some real feedback from strangers is fantastic, and I really appreciate that. Also, it seems like you guys really liked last week's video about gas and that it seemed to have resonated with a lot of people, which kind of warms my heart because it's a huge struggle, gas, and that whole thing of going through the burning desire for gear and the unsatisfactory process of churning through stuff and not really, feeling at peace or contented with your music. So to know that resonated with people means a lot to me. And I think I'm going to make it like a monthly thing, not about gas, but just about stuff on my mind and just kind of talk maybe with my wife about the struggles of being an artist, things we all deal with. And hopefully everybody can, have a therapy Thursday with us or something. I don't know. Let me know what you think about that in the comments. Let me know if that sounds like a good idea to you. Anyway, other than that, that's all I got. That's all I have in the chamber. I've emptied the chamber. There's no bullets left in my fat finger gun. So I'm going to go ahead and fire a blank and say, I'm Daniel. This is the Messy Desk, and I love you more than I love my wife. Almost. I'll see you next week.